Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight we got a special event here as we are back for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs. And we are here at the Kentucky Speedway for the Core Clash. This is an exhibition event, non-points for the drivers of the Core Xfinity Series. All the drivers that had a pole in Season 5, well, they get a bye straight to the feature race here tonight. They don't have to worry about heat racing, no last chance qualifiers, nothing. They get a free pass, and they'll start from the front in the feature race as well. But for everybody else, they got to make that main, and they're gonna have to do it through one of two different ways. Right now, out there finishing up with qualifying, there's gonna be two 10-lap heat races. The top 5. That's it, just the top 5 out of the heat races will go on to the feature, and then the rest of the field from the heat races is going to go to the last chance qualifier, where only the top 13 will make it. It looks like we are just shy of 30, which only 30 we're going to make the feature here tonight. So actually, it looks like we may be good to see all 29 drivers, the way it looks here tonight, make that feature race. So everybody in attendance will be able to make it, but still going to set that starting order. But we are ready for some more racing here on Tuesday nights for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs. Carl Lemmer joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, we're getting ready for heat number 1 here, but we're back in action here for Core Xfinity.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Obviously, we put these drivers on a small break after last season, so now to kind of start things off, kind of a little bit of fun run here before we get the official driving going. But I think the drivers are excited. You know, they've been off for a while, so instead of the first race kind of really counting towards the championship, just kind of get out here, knock off the cobwebs, get back in there, and make things work here. But so far, so good. We have our few drivers up on the qualifying is done. Yep. So now we just need to.
Yep. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the starting order for heat number 1 here tonight. On the pole is going to be Kevin Foster, Shayne Therrien in a second, Braden Carlson, JP Phillips for your second row, Mark Parkhurst back in action here tonight. James Turnbull for row number 3. Row number 4 going to be Jesse Francisco, Jason Grisman, Dean Gagliano, Tim Glass making up row number 5, Luis Orduna, and James Molyneux for row number 6. And then starting shotgun on the heat 1 field, if it'll let me go back to him. There we go. It is going to be Matt Ulmer. So 13 cars here for race number 1, and we're ready for action here, but it's gonna be quick. It's gonna be hot and heavy here, as once again only 10 laps here to decide the first heat race. Top 5 will go on to the feature race. Arnie is ready for the first green flag of the season, and we are racing at Kentucky.
Yeah, we go. Probably get one, okay.
Nice big wide area on the front stretch to get this thing underway. You can use the apron. It's not a horrible transition down there onto the apron. It's a little bit smoother than some of these tri-oval tracks as we get a battle for the lead. Shayne Therrien is in the lead right now on the outside, and Kevin Foster fighting back on that inside. JP Phillips up there as well. And you got James Turnbull in 4th place, but leading the first lap of the season, Kevin Foster has a big moment. Is going to be the 88 of Therrien. JP Phillips all the way up now into 2nd place. But pretty good start here for the season. Again, this is not easy. It's not something that these drivers deal with either. I mean, just getting right out here and having to jump right into the action here, but only a quick 10 little lap feature here, or 10 little lap heat.
Yeah, 10 laps, obviously flies by pretty quickly here. Like 37-second laps, so it takes at least a lap or so to the tires are really kind of warm up, and Kevin Foster may be getting a little loose, but still hanging in there, using that bottom line. Obviously, no sense of really saving. There's no strat. You gotta go fast here. You only get 10 laps, so you want to use your best lines and make the smart decisions, and obviously give a little bit of room. No turn people on purpose and whatnot, but I think the drivers are doing great so far. I mean, they already got 3 laps in. They're racing pretty hard. Kevin Foster moving back up, but 22 with a crossover gets underneath Kevin Foster, pushing to the outside as Kevin was running the low side. So now that low line being used against the 8. Back there you got the Mark Mark Parkhurst, and then number 65 looking to kind of follow while those drivers are trying to decide who to go with, as he was behind Kevin Foster, now moves behind the 22 of Turnbull.
And we are going to get to the halfway point already here, getting real close at the back there. Luis Orduna sliding up there a little bit. It's getting close to Matt Olmer's with 3. Well, actually, that's Matt Olmer on the inside, 3 wide on the outside. That was Braden Carlson, as we're still 3 wide on the front stretch. And that could be our first caution. Indeed, it is. Hard impact in the outside wall. Not sure if that might be the end of the heat race for Matt Olmer. I think I've seen that thing blow up. And indeed, that is the case. It's going to give James Molyneux a chance to catch back up to the field. But now it looks like Olmer pulls away, and so does Luis Orduna, as take a look back and see what brought this thing out. But I think it was pretty clear here. We watched it on board. It looks like coming out of the trioval here, getting ready to set up turn number 1. I think Olmer, maybe not realizing that Orduna still had a car to the outside, or at least close to the outside, drifts up, collects the 73, and it's going to bring out the caution here. And I'm sure that top 5 probably didn't like to see that they were starting to stretch out here a little bit. And it looked like Veras, Phillips, Turnbull, Foster, and Parkhurst were going to be kind of locked in for that top 5. But now we're going to have ourselves a little restart here, as we'll take you back live. And looks like these cars trying to catch back up to the field before they come into the pits. But out front, the 88 is looking to the first kind of unofficial win here on the season. Again, no points on tap, but I mean, anytime you get out here and race against any of your competitors out here, there's pride on the line.
Yep, you know, that's what they, race for all season. They're trying to, be the best, the fastest, win the most if possible, and obviously have very clean races. And I think, like I said, this is a great kind of icebreaker to the season. Some new faces out here, some people returning, some people coming over from other leagues, joining the core here at, on Tuesday nights. So, whether, they're usually on the weekend or, through the middle of the week. So Tuesday is a good day to kind of maybe break free and come over here and enjoy themselves. And, maybe one of the, another league owner, possibly jump in here and, just doesn't have to worry about the troublesome that comes with the league. Not necessarily troublesome, but the things that you have to do, the admin duties, keeping up the points, issuing penalties, and all that fun stuff. So it's a good way for them to kind of get away from that and just enjoy some racing. So, but we're gonna see who comes away the winner here from this first heat race, as Sean Barroway's, JP Phillips, James Turnbull, Kevin Foster, and Mark Parkhurst pick up your top 5. Then Jesse Francisco, Tim Glass, Jason Crispin, Dean Gagliano, Braden Carlson, James Melano, Luis Orduna, and Matt Olmer is how the field lines up right now.
And for those that are kind of new to core here and checking in, that these drivers, although they are competing all against each other, and anyone wants to win, get a top 5, whatever it is, weekly, there are divisions within core. So when it comes to the point standings, you're racing the other drivers in your division, but a win regardless is the same amount of points, whether you're in the platinum division, whether you're in the gold, the silver, the bronze. Doesn't matter. The points pay out the same per position. But if you're, say, in the bronze division, you get yourself a top 5. The next closest bronze driver is back in 15th. It's going to be a good points gap and a good points day for you. So it's pretty interesting dynamic here. But that's why you see the different color number plates up there. The red number plates are for the rookies. The drivers that are new to the series have to race 5 races on the ovals here to develop a core rating. Then they'll be placed into their respective divisions. And then you'll see the gold, like JP Phillips in the gold division, Kevin Foster in the silver, Mark Parkhurst in the platinum, and then down there towards the bottom, Luis Orduna, James Molyneux in the bronze division. But we're getting ready to go back to racing action here. Going to be a green, white checkered finish here. 88 is going to be the control car once we get back to the restart zone. JP Phillips on the outside, James Turnbull, Kevin Foster, and Mark Parkhurst currently in top 5 holding on to those transfer spots.
And we're still waiting on that day that the rear bumper of the pace car is real.
Yes, absolutely we are. Well, we've made it breath, just waiting and waiting for sure.
I mean, you got AIs out there now that you can race against, and you can hit them. So why not make the pace car up then?
Well, we're about ready to get back to green flag racing here, as Fairway's going to lead him back to the green, and he's on the loud pedal. We are racing again here at Kentucky. Green flag. We'll see the white flag next time by, as the 88 pulls off into the distance, but we got a battle for 5th place now, as Jesse Francisco trying to get up there and mix it up again. The top 5 can sit back and relax until the feature here tonight. The rest got to go to the last chance qualifier, heading into 3 and 4. 88 leading the way, the 78 of Phillips in second. But right here is the battle we're watching for that final transfer spot. White flag in the air, 1 more to go. Francisco and Parkhurst battling side by side. They're right behind Foster as well. One little slip up from any of these guys, and it's going to mean a transfer spot out the window. On the backstretch, a slight edge to the 731 of Francisco. Out front, the 88 of Fairways looking like he's going to go on and take this one. Francisco driving hard into the corner. It's going to be enough here, as Fairways, Phillips, Turnbull, Foster, and Francisco are your top 5 that will qualify straight through. They won't have to worry about fighting for any more positions here tonight. Again, only 29 drivers out here, so I believe everybody is going to make the feature, but you still want to get a better starting position if you can, and that's what these top 5 did. The rest are going to have to go to the last chance qualifier to set up their starting positions for the feature. But Jimmy, we got our second heat race ready to go already. Another 10 laps, and looking at the starting order for this one, it's going to be Joe Sullivan on the pole, Tater Bowman joining him on the front row, Dan Phelps, Michael Larch for row number 2, Grady Gherkin, Christopher Pope for row number 3, and then Tyler Barnes, Joey Cruz, Josh Van Westen, Paul Butler rounding out your top 10. Good to see that 77 back out there in action. Rounding out the rest of the field, as I keep clicking on the wrong button, is going to be the 218 of Joe Thomas, Terry Jansen, and Michael Pratt for your 13 car field. Not a surprise. It's a surprise to see Michael Pratt over here in the Core Xfinity Series, new for Core this season. Not a surprise to see that car starting from the back though. That doesn't surprise me one bit. We'll see if he decides to do that in the regular season as well. But good to see that 76 maybe returning to form a little bit. I know it was a little bit of a down year for Sullivan last season, but he's got that 76 on the pole for heat number 2. We'll see if he can turn that into a win. But I mean, a little bit lighter field that maybe we'll see for this season, as we got about 50 drivers plus signed up for the season, and maybe some of them just going to take tonight off, relaxing, resting up for the season. But we could see upwards of 40 plus drivers in for the season. But this is a test for everybody here. Quick little races like this, then get you set up for that 50-lap feature. But base car is going to pull in. We'll get into heat number 2 here. And again, it's going to be Joe Sullivan leading them to Barney in that flag stand, waiting for one more green flag. I keep thinking it's that first Geico restarts over. That's the Geico restart. There's 2 Geicos out there. It's going to be confused a little bit, but either way, we are green here at Kentucky once again. Joe Sullivan gets a great start there as the field starts to already shuffle around here a little bit, looking for that top 5 spot.
Yeah, well, it starts right here with the 82 screwing around. We got a little on the back, and I don't think the 82 is the 80. Yeah, he has the Pope.
Yep.
There's a slim back there as caution comes here as we just get to turn number 2. So I'm sure the leaders will like
Sound like we had some more there as well. Let's take a look and see what brought this one out here. Looks like a little bump from the 32 of Tyler Barnes up into the 028 of Joey Cruz, and then into the 82 of Christopher Pope. But then I want to see some more action here in the back. We'll take a look as you see the 218 going by the 77 of Paul Butler. Not exactly the welcome back that he wanted, as off the wall. And then I'm not sure if that car was driving straight or not, but you see he gets into The 28 there
28.
of Terry Jansen, and they just kind of looks like he kind of pushes him down the backstretch here a little bit, but a quick early caution here. These drivers do have a faster car that they can use and get back out there. So hopefully they can just get out there and at least get a few more laps. I mean, you never know with these quick little 10-lap heats. One little mistake from somebody in the front end, it's going to shake up the entire order very quick. But I'm sure Joe Sullivan and Tater Bowman, some of these guys up here in the top 5, they don't mind pacing around for a couple laps to get a little bit closer to that checkered flag.
Yeah, this is the easy way, and obviously the laps go by, and they will get a green light checker to finish, if need be. So, but this, like I said, it's an icebreaker. It's for the drivers to get out there, start racing around each other. This is for fun. Obviously, we want to win, but this is to kind of break the ice. A little bit of different format for the drivers. So the other driver, your competition, everybody that's already been in the car can sit back and watch, and then come out here and race themselves, and then turn it around and get back right in the car if you're not in the top 5, and head for that last chance qualifier to set the order. So you get a couple restarts in there. You get the bugs kind of shaken out, and you got time to kind of come back. So, like Carl said, 29 drivers for tonight, and we should see everybody in the finale, as long as iRacing does what it's supposed to do.
So far, so good. So they're knocking, but
so far, so good.
Well, before we get back to green here, I'm gonna quickly bring in our Heat 1 winner, and it's a driver of the 88. And Sean, you come out here first go around here in the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs. You get yourself a win. I know it's not for points. I know it's it's only kind of for bragging rights here for the season opener, but it's got to feel good coming out there and getting that first win.
It feels great. I mean, I was told by a couple buddies of mine that this was a pretty difficult league, so the fact that I was able to even contend on how I was able to, I was quite pleased with myself. So I know quite a few people and good friends in this league, so I'm happy to join you guys, and hopefully I can click off a couple more.
Well, I know it doesn't matter me asking this question for Jimmy. I'm sure Jimmy's going to screw it up 10 ways to Sunday, but we'll start off with how do you say your last name, so I can at least make sure I get it correct.
So it's Verweiss. Kind of difficult to pronounce for sure.
I've said it a couple different ways, and so has Jimmy, so that I'll remember it. I can't guarantee Jimmy's going to, but that's why we got him up here in the booth. All right, well, congratulations on your first win of the season. Even though you don't get any points for it, you get to start up there towards the front in the feature. But before we let you get back out there and watch these guys go back to battle, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Just, I guess, a couple buddies that gave me the invite to this. Let me even look at, we got Jesse, Braden, James, Turnbull. We got quite a few friends that we race in our own league, and we've had quite a lot of fun in that, so I thought I'd come and join you guys.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the first win. We'll see if you can turn it into a feature win here tonight, and good luck on the season if we don't get to talk to you, but good way to start. We'll let you go and get back to your buddies out there and watch them battle out here.
Awesome. Great. Thank you.
That is the driver of the 88, Sean Verweiss, as we get ready for green flag here once again. And Joe Sullivan not wasting any time. A little bit of a bobble here midfield as Dan Phelps did not get going too quickly. He's getting gobbled up by most of the field. What was looking like a nice little walk in the park and getting himself into the feature race is now looking like LCQ bound, as that was not a good start, but Joe Sullivan shot out of a cannon here. He is out in the lead. Tater Bowman, good to see him back out there in the field. He is trying to run him down here in second in the Grumpy Goat, number 95. Brady Gherkin out here in third place. Tyler Barnes running the 32 here in fourth, and then the 121 of Josh Van Westen for your top 5 as we're halfway through this race. Still got 5 more to go here. But right now, your top 5 looking pretty good here. A little battle for fourth as Van Westen looks to the inside of 32. And you think for a second, why do you want to battle? You're up here in a transfer spot as we got some close battling for the lead as well. But this all is again determine the starting position for the feature. So if you make a pass here, it's essentially worth 2 positions, because right now the winner of heat number 1 is going to start in 4th. Winner of heat number 2 is going to start in 5th. But every position goes back and forth. It's, second place in heat number 1 is going to be right alongside the second place driver in heat number 2. But that also means, you finish 3rd or you finish 4th. It's 2 more spots. That essentially you're starting up higher as a bit of a bump there towards the back as Joey Cruz gets into the back of, I think it was Michael Pratt, working his way up through the field. Indeed, Pratt is now up in the 6th. Remember, he started shotgun in the field like he typically likes to do. But this shorter race here,
What's he doing?
does he have enough? Does he have enough to get up to that top 5? I mean, it is starting to tick away here. 3 to go here. Joe Sullivan still leads Grady Gherkin, Tater Bowman, Tyler Barnes, Josh Van Wester for your top 5. Michael Pratt has got about a second to make up here in the last 2 laps.
Yeah, and I know obviously everybody wants to try to win, win if they can. But right now, those top 5, all I need to really think about is staying clean, and then they can sit back for a race. As right now, obviously, Pratt would love to maybe possibly fight for one of those top 5 positions, and was moving in that direction as Joey Cruz was also, but we ended up getting just entangled just a little bit. So a little aggressive here on a 10-lapper, but that's what you kind of expect on a shootout. So we'll see how these drivers perform come the race here. But kind of back with Joey Cruz, but he just slapped the wall, and now he's going to go for a ride onto the grass.
It's gonna maybe save it now out into the outside wall, but the white flag is out. So we're gonna race this thing back to the line. The top 5 all under a blanket here as we got a pass now, or attempted pass at 3rd place here, the 32 of Tyler Barnes, the inside of Tater Bowman. Maybe a little rubbing is racing into turn number 3. Sullivan looking to grab the win here in race number 2. Good move by Gherkin here, coming to the line. It's not over just yet. Joe Sullivan by about a half a car, 0.04 seconds, separating your winner here as Joe Sullivan gets it done. Grady Gherkin, Tyler Barnes, Tater Bowman, Josh Van Weston for your top 5. Michael Pratt coming up a little bit short in 6th, but they'll start on the outside for outside of row number 1 for this last chance qualifier coming up here in a second, and we'll see if it even runs it. Sometimes it runs it regardless. Sometimes it goes right to the feature if you have just the right amount. But either way, this was a heck of a run here, and Joe Sullivan gets himself a win, but man, nothing comes easy for that 76. He had to work for this thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's racing against some obviously quality drivers out there. We've seen Grady Gherkin. It's been a little while since we've seen Grady out on the track, but obviously no stranger to CRM as a big supporter over from when we used to have double headers here on CRM and from UCRL. So it's definitely to see we see some good people, come back out and get back out racing and be able to showcase their talent here at CRM. But on to the last chance qualifier, and it looks like we got a pretty good lineup as the drivers are getting in their cars and getting ready to go.
Yeah, and certainly a man that's coming back after a bit of a hiatus, Mark Parkhurst. In this field here, he is a platinum driver, and it is the only platinum driver that we see in the last chance qualifier. He's got a rep here a little bit. There's not even any gold drivers here in the last chance qualifier. He's in with a mix of rookie drivers, bronze drivers, and silver drivers. So we'll see how that 65 fares. But your starting order for the last chance qualifier is going to be this: Mark Parkhurst and Michael Pratt on the front row, Jason Chrisman, Dan Phelps on row number 2, Tim Glass, Paul Butler, Dean Gagliano, Michael Larch, Braden Carlson, and Joe Thomas rounding out your top 10. Luis Orduna, Joey Cruz in row number 6, James Molyneux, Terry Jansen in row number 7, and then Matt Ulmer, Chris Pope rounding out your 16-car field. And I believe, again, we should have everybody moving on through, but this is going to, again, determine the starting order for the feature for the back half of the field right now. We do have 13 cars in the field already locked in, and just to give everyone a heads up, it's going to be, I forget the other three. I know Alan Elwood is going to be starting on the pole. I believe Tyler Skoczen out there as well. I think he is going to be starting in second, and then I forget the third one that is pre-qualified that showed up here tonight. 7 drivers were eligible for this race tonight, but only 3 of them showing up, so I'm sure we'll see them out there for the season. But we will.
Well, they get a chance to look at their competition here with these. With these 3 races. But these drivers that have been on the track already got some track time going.
Yeah, and that's kind of big. You get to see what some of your competition does from the outside, but you don't get the race record competition and kind of really feel how they drive out there. They will get a 2-minute little warm-up in between the LCQ here and the feature, just to kind of, refuel the car a little bit, since they've been sitting. They didn't even have a chance to qualify out here tonight, so they've been sitting since practice. But out front here on this restart, it's going to be 15 laps. Mark Parkhurst on the loud pedal, Barney waving that green flag. We are racing, and here's the funny thing, Jimmy. Whether Michael Pratt wants to or not, he's got to start up front. He finished in 6th place here in heat number 2, so that 777 is up there in second. And yeah, but he's just got to feel out. Well, maybe he's trying to work his way towards the back, as we will see a caution, and we see some big wrecks right there, as well as that is Tim Glass still bouncing, still coming back down from the atmosphere. That was a rough one here. We'll take a look at this one again. You see already the 54 and the 77 cold tires, but the 18 here, it's an absolute, just worst kind of timing. He goes for about 6 or 7 different rolls, and it's still not done. That thing is bouncing and bouncing. Some heavy damage for some of these drivers, and we'll take a look at it again, because, why not? Nobody is really actually injured here. We'll hop on board and take a ride with Tim Glass. And I guess I should have warned everybody, if you have a weak stomach, may want to look away right now, but this was not a fun ride, and hopefully, for Tim's sake, he's not in VR, because that would not have been too much fun in VR.
The VR, it's like a motion rig. Could you imagine, like the bouncing back and forth and being in VR? Yeah, that's pretty rough. Even at the end there of that incident, getting shot up in the air, it's like a netcode bounce for Tim. So tough break for the 118. To start off here, but wow, that was kind of a amazing watch.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Well, we'll bring in our winner from heat number 2, and that is going to be Joe Sullivan. Get it done here in the 76, but Joe, does anything come easy for you? It looked like you had that one in the bag, and then all of a sudden you come off of turn number 4, and Grady Gergen's on your inside, and you have to battle all the way to the line.
Yeah, I couldn't have had a worse last lap, I don't think. I tried to give it to Grady. I was doing everything I could. Another lap, and he would have had it. I was doing a lot of mirror driving. I was in a little unfamiliar territory there for a little bit.
Yeah, you win that thing by 0.04 seconds, but, kind of like we talked to Deshaun Verweiss for the first race. Even though it's no points on the line here tonight, just kind of pride on the line, a little bit of fun. It's got to feel good to just, notch a win here already in the season.
Yeah, it's kind of unsurprising. I'm not really good at this track, so I got a couple laps in practice and kind of found something, and I don't know how I laid that qualifying lap down, but I will take it, and we definitely capitalized there and got the win there in heat 2.
Maybe a little foreshadowing for the season. Maybe you'll see a resurgence for that 76 here on the season. Either way, congrats on the win here in the heat number 2. We'll let you go and enjoy sitting back and watching this LCQ and getting ready for that feature.
Okay, I'll talk to you here in a little bit.
That is driver of the 76, Joe Sullivan, as he was your heat number 2 winner tonight, as we still need to get this one done and dusted and get some of these cars maybe back under power. I know a few of them had to tow back to pit lane, but again, all these drivers should be making it to the feature regardless, so we just have to maybe get the backup car.
I did check that.
You did? Okay, perfect. So maybe you have to get the backup car ready for that feature at this point, but out front, Mark Parkhurst Paul Butler on that front row, and it's good once again to see that 77 back out there. Good to see the 65 back out there as well. Certainly Parkhurst, former champion here in Core and the Premier Series, and Paul Butler has been a long time member, and finally getting off his butt and coming back out here and racing. But I know he's got some newer equipment. He's got a VR here tonight. He's already missing the triples. He didn't want to run on a single monitor, and we had a little conversation about that. And I said it's kind of like watching the big game on a big screen TV, and then all of a sudden watching it on your phone. It sucks. It sucks. But either way, he's got that. He's got that 77 up there in second place right now. Mark Parkhurst is your control vehicle. It's not that Geico zone. It's the next one that we're coming up to that he is going to fire off. He is back on the loud pedal. A good restart here on the inside. The 65 off and running. And the one Michael Large getting a good restart there as well. Hopefully we get some green flag laps here. Shuffle up this field a little bit. But you did see, Jimmy, we didn't really talk about it too much, but cold tires, not exactly fun for these drivers on that first lap.
No, I gotta get warmed up. We've seen Dan Phelps spin the tires and lose a lot of positions in that second heat race, and it was a tough break there for Phelps, as he has shown that obviously he can qualify and get some decent laps in. But right now, I think kind of watching back here for P number 4, just kind of watching Paul Butler get back in the swing of things. So. It's a lot to take in when you've been gone for a while. Staying off the apron.
Yep. You got to remember that.
Moving from the triples to VR, that's a huge move too. I mean, if you haven't, I don't know how much he's been in the VR, or if that's what he did before. But it's definitely a big difference. So hopefully he's got everything rolling good for him, so his frames are good and doesn't get motion sickness and all that fun stuff. It's like I said, I know I'd actually like to revisit it, to be honest, and just kind of run a few races like that for fun. But I run triples. I've been running triples since the get-go. I tried VR for like a day, and it was fun. But after getting sick after about an hour, I was like, yeah, that's not for me. I'm not willing to take the time. And it got hot, and I need to wear up batteries, and it's just too much for me. So so I went to triples.
I think the worst part is when you get that update in the middle of your race. Everything just goes black, and you have to kind of lift the VR off of your face a little bit, as I think that was a heck of a save, and still saving it through the corner. Paul Butler is going to lose some spots, 54. But a good save there, as apparently lost the track back. We'll get that back up here, but we are about halfway through. I think I still hear some cars sliding, and we do have a car in the wall. Looks like Terry Jansen, Matt Ulmer in the wall, but no caution on the track, as Jansen's going to back up down the track, and that will finally bring out the caution. I was going to say that was kind of crazy if there wasn't a caution on that one. But we'll take a look back and see what brought this one out. And now it looks like Ulmer's coming down a little bit, and Joe Thomas getting involved in that one as well. So 3 cars involved. And going to need to come back to the pits. We're about halfway through this LCQ.
And that's been like the story for Joe Thomas. We've seen Joe run some really great races, but just back here kind of hanging out, doing his thing, because he's very patient, and that's what he usually has a strategy of some sort that he likes to execute. He was back there just kind of chilling, and then just kind of riding up on a higher line, and those cars just come up, and I guess they like to pin up on the car. I mean, that's just the only thing I could think about.
It's very possible. Very possible. Maybe he thinks he's got some pinups in the car, trying to take him out.
Maybe. I got an out calendar or something.
Well, either way, up front, Mark Parkhurst made his way back up to the front, and he did it 3 wide, going to the inside of Joey Cruz and Michael Larch. As I got to say, Jimmy, looking at this field here, it wasn't just 3 wide for the lead. There was 3 wide in the back of the pack as well. I know these drivers had about a month off in between Season 5 and the start here of Season 6, or at least the unofficial start. Do you get the feeling they had the itch to go back racing?
You think? I mean, 3 wide. I mean, pushing it, trying to get really good starts and spinning the tires. I mean, there's all kinds of little mistakes happening that I think just kind of boils down to getting back in the car, maybe some first race jitters, you know, all that kind of fun stuff. I mean, these drivers have been running around each other, most of them, for quite a few seasons now, so they're no stranger to each other out there. But it's like we said, took a month off, had some vacay, you know, and now they're trying to get back in the groove again, and trying to fight it here tonight at Kentucky. A little different format, kind of mix it up for them so they can get little breaks and you know, opportunities to kind of sit back and be rewarded for you know, finishing well in the heat races. And then we got these drivers back here just trying to set the rest of the you know, the order. And obviously you still have a few drivers that haven't even been in the car yet. They're enjoying back here, either listening to us talk or just kind of watching what's going out on the track, as they are, I believe they're up seeing the Discord for most of them. So everybody's kind of split off from their teams and chit-chatting. So I'm sure everybody's having a good hoot and seeing who maybe they want to be careful around, maybe who is a little aggressive and who's a little more passive. I mean, like I said, everybody drives a little bit different, and, you know, where they can take advantage of those situations.
Should be getting the one to go this time by, and we'll see a race to the end of the Last Chance Qualifier here. Well, maybe not necessarily even call it Last Chance Qualifier, as everyone's going to make it to the field anyway, but it's going to be the 65 of Mark Parkhurst, and maybe so new to kind of get back at the action here. I don't have a paint scheme here, just got the official iRacing paint scheme, or maybe that's his sponsor.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Maybe that's his sponsor. I mean, maybe he's
maybe.
Well, we were gone. You know, he's been that good that, you know, he's just got sponsored right from the other title sponsor here. But either way,
I mean, that's the best way to do it.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
I mean, in all, I mean, red, white, and blue. I mean, it does look good. I mean, I won't lie. I mean, I would drive it.
It does, absolutely. And you know, hey, you know, maybe you work out a sponsorship deal where, hey, I don't want to pay my subscription fees, and when a new track comes out, I want it.
Take it. I'll take it.
Exactly.
I'll take it. I mean, I know how much I invested in this.
I don't want to think about it. Don't bring it up.
There's not much I'm missing. We'll put it that way. I mean, I'm probably at 90%, maybe 95. I have a lot.
I don't know if that's something to brag about or not. I'm really not sure. But either way,
iRacing wants me to brag about it.
Well, you're right. All right, well, we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here as the pace car lights are out. Going to make that left-hand turn into pit lane. It's going to be in control here by the 65 again on the restart. He had a great restart last time, but then they ran him down pretty quickly, and he got shuffled back with a little bit of a mistake. He's back on the loud pedal, and Mark Parkhurst is your leader at the line, but already you see the one of Michael Larch trying to get in there, the 028 of Joey Cruz trying to get up in the mix as well. We've definitely seen the swarm, the hive, everything in play here tonight, as it's been really crazy, especially back in the pack here. We're taking a look at it right now, as looking up towards the front. Mark Parkhurst still leads the way. Joey Cruz now in second. Michael Larch, Brendan Carlson, Dean Gagliano for your top five. James Molyneux making a nice little comeback. Started back there in 13th for this race, and he's up to 6th place right now, trying to break into the top five. But a lot better of a restart this time here. Looking back in the field, we got a little battle here. Jason Crispin now goes around the outside of Paul Butler. Crispin getting the lucky dog on this last go-round here, and now trying to make up some late positions here, as coming to the white flag. One more lap to go. See if Parkhurst can get it done here in the Last Chance Grid Decider. I don't know what you want to call it, because it's they're all qualified already, but either way, looking for a win. Looking for a win. Last chance to get a win before the feature here tonight, but Cruz has got other things in mind, trying to get that 028 down to the inside. He's going to dive it into turn number 3, side by side for the win, coming off of turns 3 and 4. Close for second, as well as Larch all over the backside. Battle to the line. Parker's going to win. Cruz going to hold off for second. Larch in third. Brendan Carlson, Dean Gagliano for your top five here. But this was a good one all the way to the line again, and hopefully a little foreshadowing for the feature here tonight, which is where we're going to be right now. But before that, we got a little 2-minute warm-up. So now's your chance to go get yourself a nice crisp beverage. Get yourself a little bit of popcorn because we're about ready to get to action here for 50 laps here at Kentucky and the core clash. So we'll step away. We'll let these drivers get a little bit of warm-up in and just, crank up the sounds here a little bit while we're waiting. Well, it is time to go racing here tonight. It is time for the core clash. Again, 50 laps on tap here tonight. And we'll give you a rundown of the starting order. Again, your top 3 were pre-qualified in, so you haven't seen the 5, the 55, or the 25 even step onto the track yet, but they are going to start in first, second, and third. As we take a look at the grid order here tonight, on the pole, Alan Elwood, Tyler Skoczen. Joining him on that front row, Jack Stoneman, Sean Verweiss in row number 2, Joe Sullivan, JP Phillips in row number 3, Grady Gherkin, James Turnbull for row number 4. Final spots in the top 10 are going to go to Tyler Barnes and Kevin Foster. And we take a look at too far there, as 11th and 12th are going to be Tater Bowman and Jesse Francisco. There we go. Now we got Josh Van Westen in 13th, Mark Parkhurst in 14th. So you see, those top 5 in the feature really helps you out, gets you up there at least in the top 13. But now Parkhurst, after winning the LCQ, starting back in 14th. Joey Cruz, Michael Larch for row number 8, Brady Carlson, Dean Gagliano, row number 9. In row 10 is James Molyneux, Luis Arduna. Rounding out the rest of the field, we got Jason Chrisman, Dan Phelps, Paul Butler, Matt Ulmer, Terry Jansen, Michael Pratt, Christopher Pope, Joe Thomas, and Tim Glass. So I guess, Jimmy, Michael Pratt got what he wanted. He's starting the big race in the back, whether he wanted to or not.
He did it on purpose.
It's starting to all make sense. It's starting to all come together here.
Mike, I love you, man. I love your ambition to start from the rear. He's always a story. There's something about Michael Pratt, and we've seen him win from the back, so it's not like he doesn't have the talent. He's this driver, Michael Pratt, man. He likes starting in the back. He takes his time, and he accepts the challenge each and every week, and it seems like each and every league.
Well, we're about ready to see who can get this thing done over 50 laps, as the driver's still catching up. Hopefully everybody gets gridded up here in time, as we're getting ready to go green here for 50 laps. Alan Elwood, Tyler Skoczen on that front row. Maybe a little preview of some of the guys that could be winning races this coming season, as we are ready for the first well, unofficial big green flag of the season, and Barney is waving it. We are racing here at Kentucky, and a little bit of a slide sideways already. We got some cars wrecking in the back, and indeed that is going to be a yellow here. And I was kind of worried about that happening. There's still some guys kind of getting into line here a little bit late. We'll take a look and see what brought this one out.
You talked about Michael Brett.
Oh, you see right there, a little bit of a bunch up. The 121 locks it up there, and Michael Brett, of course, getting involved in that one. But it looked like maybe a little bit of a slow start, maybe a missed shift by some of the drivers on the inside line, and just accordion all right through there. And Joe Thomas, he got sent into the infield here. We'll try and rewind it and see what exactly happened here to the 18. As you see that that Hood, I think, went a little bit further than he did right there. Gets into the 121 to start this thing off, and yeah, not exactly the start that Joe Thomas wanted, but still plenty of time left in the race here. Hopefully, he can get that car repaired and back out there. But yeah, it kind of is what it is sometimes.
Yeah, I think Van Westen was trying to anticipate the jump, and crew seeing the 121 kind of lurch forward, and they just kind of all ran it. I mean, obviously after the 121 hit the back of Tater Bowman, Cruz got into the back of Van Westen, and then I think the 21, I think behind Cruz ends up hitting him as well. So some damage to some of those cars. Joe Thomas, and then end up smacking.
Yeah, of course, it just makes sense. Well, we got some time here. We got a quick yellow. We'll bring in our winner here of the LCQ, and that is Mark Parkhurst in the 65. Mark, first of all, welcome back to the track here in Core and in the Core Xfinity Series. You get your feet wet, but you had to get your way in there through the, well, I mean, you were locked in regardless, but, through the LCQ, and it was not exactly easy for the win.
No, some of those guys are really good there, and hold on, I had to click on my Spotify and almost wrecked myself. No, but those guys gave me a hell of a fight there, and I didn't do myself many favors. I was overdriving that way too much and almost lost it there on one of those restarts, so I certainly gave myself some work to cut out, and some of those guys put in some really hard competition there, so I'm really glad to be back, and I can tell it's going to be a really fun season.
Yeah, so how's the car itself feeling out there? We've definitely seen it looks like it can get a little squirrely on cold tires on the start of this race. It looks like a little bit of a bottleneck on the inside on that start of the race right there, just kind of coordinating everybody. But how's the car overall feeling?
Yeah, it's pretty loose the first like 2 or 3 laps. Where once you get going, you can't just like stomp on the gas, but it grips up a little bit once the tires get warmed up. But yeah, I don't know what happened to that first start. I don't know if somebody missed a shift or what, but I know Josh got absolutely destroyed right there, so I'm hoping he can make a good recovery.
Well, we'll let you get back at it, and congrats on the LCQ win here. We'll see if you can get that 65 up there towards the front, and maybe we'll get to talk to you again.
Yeah, I hope so. I like getting pulled up by you guys. It's fun.
That is the driver of the 65, Mark Parkhurst. As pace car lights are out, we're going to get this thing back under green. Hopefully we can get this field, sorted out here a little bit. I know it's first race jitters. I know there's not points on the line, so sometimes drivers are a little bit more aggressive than typically in a regular season race. So hopefully just kind of get their feet wet here and maybe get a little bit better of a start. It definitely looked like it was, like Mark Barker said, maybe a missed shift or maybe just a little bit of a slow start from that inside line, and it can happen real quick and bunch everything up. I mean, you ride on board here. We'll hop on board with one of the cars here, and you just look at with Mark Parkhurst, and you can see when you're behind a car, that's really all you can see. I mean, you can't even see through the back windshield, all the way through the front windshield, and really see what the cars in front are doing. So you got to trust what's going on by that car in front of you, and if there's a bottleneck that they got to slow up, the car in front's got to slow up and all the way through. That's how those incidents can happen. But we'll stay on board here with Parkhurst for the restart, as it's going to be in control here by Alan Elwood, and we'll see if Elwood can get that 5 up there and rolling, heading to the Geico restart zone here one more time. And we are racing here again at Kentucky.
Away they go. Alan Elwood off to a decent start there with Tyler Skoczen down in turn 1, and I'm heading back to the back of the pack. It's a battlefield, and check out Kevin Foster. I thought they were on 3 wide, but maybe not. They were thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm back here on board with Kevin Foster. You can see it through the gyro cam as well, and kind of get an idea. It's not, you know, crazy amount of banking here at Kentucky, but you definitely can see it and you can feel it a little bit here, and it's definitely a little bit racy back here and the back. But we know Kevin Foster doesn't mind going to the back and doing a little saving and trying to work his way back up through the field. Know he's a fan favorite out there, and I do want to give a shout out to all the fans out there in CRN Nation tuning in here tonight, whether you're just tuning in for fun, watching your favorite drivers out there, whether you're a driver that just couldn't make the race here tonight. Either way, we love having you here, and if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as me and Jimmy have hit our busy season, as we are broadcasting damn near the entire week, as we got 191 Motorsports on Sundays, we got the Holden Bricks Academy on Mondays, we got right here the Core Xfinity Series coming back here on Tuesdays. Wednesdays we got the GT Series with CSRL. Thursdays we got a doubleheader, as we got the Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA Series and Core GT Series. And then this Saturday we got another special event, and that is the CRN Cup. This is going to be 2 races at Charlotte. First, the Xfinity cars on the Charlotte Oval, and then the GT3 cars on the Charlotte Road Course. And just a little chance for all the different leagues that CRN covers to get out there, get some teams together, have a little fun. Maybe do a little bit of cross recruiting, a little bit of advertising, and it's just a fun event. And we're certainly looking forward to it. We already got a decent amount of drivers from each of the series, but there's still time to sign up, as a little close battle in there between Joey Cruz and James Molyneux, but looks like that's going to get sorted out. Up in the lead, trying to walk away, is the 5 of Alan Elwood, out to about his 2nd lead. Looking back here at the battle for 3rd place, Shayne Therrien in the inside in that 88, the 55 of Tyler Skoczen on the outside. And it's been a pretty good battle out here so far. And we want to give a shout out to our last season champions, and that being in the Platinum Division. Clayton Montgomery not going to be out here this season, so the Platinum Division back up for grabs, as Montgomery is competing over there in the Core GT Series. But I'm sure the rest of his team going to be showing out here in full force in the Platinum. In the gold, Bronson Stafford is going to be your returning champion. In the silver, it is Josh Van Westen, and in the bronze, it was John Crane. All of them planning on coming back out here for the season. But right now, it is Alan Elwood looking to reclaim his title, but starting off here with the exhibition and kind of staking his claim to being the car to beat here once again. The 5 out to a nice sizable lead. Jack Stoneman in 2nd. Tyler Skoczen, Shayne Therrien, and Brady Gherkin for your top 5. Then you get JP Phillips, Tyler Barnes, Joe Sullivan, Tater Bowman, and Mark Markers for your top 10.
Yeah, and I would say it's extremely early in the race. 11 laps in here out of 50. Not a huge long race, but long enough to get out there and get some laps in and kind of settle down and race around each other. I think some of these drivers right now are kind of waiting, maybe just feeling the car out, feeling each other out, trying to make the smart decisions. Let's not have any more early cautions like we've already had. So, first one's always a kind of a gimme, but there's going to be some battling throughout the field. A lot of single file right now. I do see some battling. I'm trying to catch where that's at.
Watching battle right now. The 20 and the 22 of James Turnbull on the inside, the 54 of Jason Chrisman on the outside. Doing some good battling right now. And how about, throw that on, the 28 of Joey Cruz all the way on the inside, went 3 wide there. Maybe a little touch with James Turnbull, as Joey Cruz trying to make his way back up through the field. Already on the inside of Jason Chrisman, and Cruz did pit on lap number 2. Does it mean that much with 2 lap newer tires? Well, I don't know, but either way, that 028 is looking to move his way all the way up through the field, already to the inside here of Jesse Francisco. Not going to get the pass done just yet, but at 028, looks like he wants to move himself closer to that top 10.
I'm pretty sure, obviously we've seen some good finishes by Cruz in the past, and he takes his lumps by some of the maybe not so popular decisions on moves. Gotta kind of watch there. He got involved there in that first incident, so brought it in, got it fixed. Get back out there, get it back to the front, and we'll see if Cruz can keep things together here. As definitely has some speed here tonight. Just needs to be a little patient and make the right decisions. And top 10, top 5, and heck, even maybe in top 3 if he holds them cards up.
Looks like we are gonna have a situation here. Kind of seen it live as James Molyneux turned around backwards. Gets that thing violently spun back around. I think he's just trying to beat the pace car there. We'll take a look at what brought this one out. Slow it down here a little bit. And it looks like he just maybe pinched the 38 up there just a little bit too much. Dean Gagliano, unfortunately, nowhere to go. He was already up there in the outside wall, but the 94 drifted up a little bit too much, hooks himself around, and points that thing backwards. I mean, not too much damage on the 94 there. Hopefully, he can come in there and get it repaired. I don't even know if a fast repair is necessarily needed if he can avoid it, but they do have one to use if he hasn't done so already. But that's going to bring us under caution and kind of a unique time here. We're 16 laps into this race. These drivers will be able to make it on fuel, regardless, and they may be able to make it on fuel even from the start here, but it'll be really interesting. I mean, we've seen that 028 move his way up through the field. Granted, it's only on 2-lap newer tires, and we know Cruz definitely has some speed to move his way up through the field, but do you give up track position and come into the pits? Well, I think they got your answer.
Yeah.
Yes, and a little bit more yes. Everyone coming down into pit lane here. You may see a couple of the drivers that are a lap or two down decide to stay out. Exactly. And get a wave around here as looks like everyone coming in except for Dan Phelps, Luis Orduna, and Joe Thomas, who are going to look to get a lap back here. But we'll see if there's any kind of differing strategies if anybody decides to take 2 tires instead of 4. And it looks like we do maybe have one taker. It's going to be the 88 of Shayne Therrien. Your Heat 1 winner here tonight now is going to be at the front. Alan Elwood, Jack Stoneman, and for the most part, the rest of the field taking 4 tires here. A couple of takers of 2, as it looks like James Turnbull maybe taking 2 tires as well. Paul Butler decided to just take fuel only, just coming in there and topping off here a little bit. Not a bad move because these drivers only have 2 sets of tires in the pits. And it's only a 50-lap race, but you get another caution here after 10 laps. It's good to have another set of tires in the pits, and then you never know if you want that 1 set of tires for the last little run at the end. But it is it's on lap 17, so we're not quite at halfway yet, but we're getting pretty close.
Close no cigar. Skoczen is only good for hand grenades.
And horseshoes. And horseshoes, exactly.
Sorry, I put the hand grenades first, the next military.
Well, it's been a pretty fun one out here so far. Hopefully everyone out there is enjoying it. Again, just a little exhibition race to kick off the season. We'll have one more in the middle of the season as well, as this season is going to be a little different. Last season was 20 races, all of them just as important as the next. But this season is going to cut a little bit shorter, as it's going to be 17 races altogether, with this one being one of them. Non-points race here for the Core Clash, and then the middle of the season is going to be the All-Star race at Homestead, where we kick off the season next week at Dover. And Jimmy, I know you know plenty about Dover, that concrete mile, and Miles the Monster waiting for these drivers for race number 1.
Miles the Monster, yeah, that track's very fast, very unique, high banking. If you could go there personally, I highly suggest it if you're close enough. If you're in a 3-hour drive, it's one of the best races you can watch. Take yourself some headphones though, because it's a big old soup bowl. Not a bad seat in the house either. You can be in those. It's probably one of the best spots.
Well, we are getting ready to go back to green flag racing here, as we'll take it back up to the front. Shayne Therrien, Alan Elwood on the front row. Jack Stoneman, Tyler Skoczen on row number 2. Reddy Gurkin rounding out that top 5. Tyler Barnes, JP Phillips, Jesse Francisco, Joe Sullivan, and Mark Parkhurst for your top 10. So Our pre-qualifiers all still right at the front. Our heat winners up there at the front as well with Sean Weiss and Joe Sullivan, and then even our LCQ winner at the in the top 10 as well. As we're back to green flag racing here. Weiss leads him into turn number 1. How long can he make those 2 tires last? Are they going to be a little bit slick? You already see him kind of working that wheel a little bit in that 88. It's giving Jack Stoneman maybe some thoughts of trying to make a move here down into turn number 3. Goes to the bottom. Weiss to the middle. To Alan Elwood hooking that bottom line as well. Skoczen trying to run the middle line. Brady Gherkin just kind of hanging back there, maybe observing here a little bit. And as he is a newcomer here to the core Xfinity series, as we did have a car down there on the bottom. Looked like Turnbull got down there on the apron pretty far, and Tater Bowman chases it back up onto the track. Both of them good surviving skills right there, and a good job by all the other drivers avoiding them as they get back up to speed here. But at the front, for Weiss making those 2 tires still work. On the outside now, Tyler Skoczen looking for 3rd.
Yeah, definitely moving in position, trying to get things work. Looks like obviously Alan Elwood, first time with being in that dirty air, maybe trying to sit back and see how it works for that number 5 here tonight. So not a bad place to be, to learn a little bit. We know that Alan has the speed to be out front. He was just there. And obviously a little bit of different pit strategy mixes things up here. But it's still early as well, not 21:50. Where the Wise out front over Elwood and Stoneman.
Side by side for the lead. Stoneman choosing to follow the 88 here on the outside, trying to help him around here. And now maybe thought about 3 wide there, but he's going to go into turn number 1. Elwood is going to get the position. Stoneman now maybe having some company. Could be 3 wide on the backstretch as Skoczen backs out of it. Thought better of it. The 25 now down to the inside of Weiss for 2nd place. As we got some good battling here, and we round our way, getting ever so closely to that halfway point here tonight, but still not there. Still plenty of racing to go. Brady Gherkin moving himself now down to the bottom and into 4th place for the moment. But I'll tell you what, Jimmy, I can't really 100% tell which line seems to be better. It seems like the lower line maybe hooking around a little bit better, but we've also seen that middle line really be a good defensive line.
Just depending on the state of their tires, as far as how hot they are, and what these drivers want to do. Obviously, they got a momentum shift, and they're trying to use it to their advantage and try to get down there and make things work. But see Alan Elwood after getting around for Wise, starting to check out just a little bit. So these drivers are going to have to figure it out if they plan on chasing the 5 all season. But right now, a great battle throughout the field.
And Cruz moves to the inside here of Francisco. The battle for the last spot in the top 10. Looking up ahead at Mark Parkhurst in 9th. Cruz not going to be able to get it done this time by. Going to have to fall back in line, back a little further in the pack. Michael Pratt on the outside of Matt Ulmer, looking to move himself up into 18th position, start working his way up through this field as we will hit the halfway point this time by. 25 will be in the books, 25 will be left remaining, as that was a close one there between Pratt and Bowman. Now heading down into turn number 3, but at the front, heck of a battle still for 4th place as Gherkin now to the outside is gonna finally get it done here around Skoczen. Now sets his sights on 2nd and 3rd, Stoneman and Weiss.
Yeah, definitely good battles up front. They're trying to, as we're talking about everybody here, Carl, been floating around, kind of seeing where everybody's at, to seeing where some of the people are usually up front and chilling. But now, just kind of like we're looking at drivers like JP Phillips. Been quiet, kind of in a small bubble, but not too far out of reach of these some of the front drivers. P number 7, Mark Parker is obviously on the move, up 5 spots behind Joe Sullivan. Right there, they're in the race, and then you kind of go back. We're talking about Christopher Pope having a bad luck, from the rip, but currently up 12 spots, Carl, and P number 15-ish. They keep bouncing. It's the battlefield. It's mid-pack.
It's exactly where you like to be, Jimmy. Where you like to watch, at least. maybe not be in the car, but I mean, yeah, it's side-by-side action here. There's usually somewhere in the field, this middle of the pack here, that you can throw a blanket over 5, 6, 7 cars, and that's what you see right here as you got side by side between Cruz and Michael Larch, as that was a close one right there. And then they, of course, you know, as soon as you show them on camera, I'll just fall in line and just make it nicey nice for everybody out there.
I'm watching.
But it's definitely been a nice little run since we got back started here.
Oh yeah, no, it was a great racing by the drivers out here, just having a good time. Elwood out there got in the clean air and, you know, stretching out just a little bit, and might find himself where he can relax just a little bit, but not quite too much, as the front end continues to be a busy place to be. And, you know, when you do get out there, you have a tendency to kind of like think about your strategy more, because right now we're at lap 30, there's 20 laps remaining. What is everybody going to do? You know, what happens if a caution comes out? What happens if this thing goes green the rest of the way? What am I going to do? Am I taking 2 tires? Am I taking 4 tires? We've already seen somebody take 2 tires. So, and you can see that it hasn't really, I mean, it's worked. I mean, he's still sitting P number 2. So he made some few positions on track, but does he have enough to catch back up to Alan Elwood? So, or does Alan Elwood just have a little bit more talent here at Kentucky? So it's just it's hit and miss. Like, people get their chance to execute their pitch strategies when these green flag races happen, and I like to see it. I know a lot of drivers say, "Oh, if I just had a little more gas, well, you should have saved." Or maybe if I had a couple more sets of tires, well, I shouldn't have burned them up. I mean, we're never gonna make everybody happy. The challenges are, this is your setup, and this is what you got to race with tonight. You know, execute it in accordance and try to get the best finish possible. Everybody's racing on the same stuff, so, you know, it's not the setup, it's not the car, it's the driver who has to compete with each other for the exact same thing. It's just how well can they execute that and drive these setups that are provided to them with a fuel setup and tires. And right now, everybody's doing a pretty fantastic job, to be honest, Carl. Just kind of watching. Everybody's pretty equally separated. A lot of single file going on. No such. I'm looking at Pope back here and Foster back here in the middle of the pack with Tater Bowman. So some 2 wide, 3 wide. You know, people just lifted or like, oh, that's not good. So people are making some decisions, I think, are smart, and just maybe thinking about, you know, these last few laps that are coming up here.
To go along with what you said, I mean, you got situations where, you know, the caution comes out at the wrong time, or, you know, you get caught up as the caution comes out in the middle of the pit segment or something like that. That can happen whether you have a 500 lap race or a 50 lap race. I mean, it all just, you know, it's luck of the draw sometimes. You could be the fastest car out there, you get caught in the wrong pit strategy, and you're fighting an uphill battle at the best. But it just, it is what it is. It happens. But definitely, you're starting to see those Skittles starting to stretch out here a little bit as we're out here racing, and these drivers doing a fantastic job right now. Alan Elwood out in the lead by about 0.8 of a second. 0.9 of a second now.
You got my
over.
skills looking like the nightmare before Christmas.
Yeah, I know. I've been trying to work on that. I think I know what the issue is, but I'm not going to mess with it right now. More than halfway. I know you're not tasting the rainbow right now. I get it. We got the Oreos out there, little mini Oreos right now. But Alan Elwood in the lead. Sean Weiss in second. Jack Stoneman, Brady Gherkin, Tyler Skoczen for your top 5. Tyler Barnes, J.P. Phillips, Joe Sullivan, Michael Larch, and Mark Barkers for your top 5. As I can find Kevin Foster, there he is. Got 3 wide, the 121 way up to that high side. As Josh Van Westen coming off the corner, still 3 wide, and the outside line can be done and can be used, but it's tricky, it's scary, and some drivers can do it.
Just a little bit.
Certain tracks I can do it, like Homestead, I feel like I can do it a little bit, but getting a little bit pinchy right there as the 54 of Grisman, and just nowhere to go, trying to figure it out, and a little bit of a brush there, a heck of a save there above the 54 as he came across the nose of the 94. This is the Beehive. This is the Hornet's Nest. This is where a lot of action is, as it looks like a bit of an issue there for Ulmer in the back. but we are well past the halfway point. In fact, we're getting close to the final 10 laps of this race. Who's going to take home the first checker flag of the season? Still good battles all throughout the field, and Luis Arduna going to get sent to the inside.
No, 51.
Caution, yellow flag.
Oh, man.
And hard impact right there.
Ride.
We'll take a look at this one here one more time, as kind of seen it happening. And I'll just keep off the wall a little bit close and got into Tanner Bowman, got sent up the track, and Jason Christman gets involved in that one. Just seen him moving his way up through the field. Unfortunately, the 73 tags him. But now, Jimmy, again, we get into a very precarious situation here. We've got probably 10 laps to go once we get this this green flag here. You got to come in and take tires, right?
If I'm in the back, I am. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, getting down to, like, this isn't a super speedway. Obviously, it's not a short track. Do some mileage on it, but it's not a super speedway, so they got to take tires, Carl. It's just too much of a difference between night and day. Now, whether somebody decides to take 2 or not for a huge jump in position on track to try to make it stick for 10 laps, I mean, the odds are, and it's in the favor of when you group them back up and somebody wants to win and they just had a caution. Like, another caution doesn't happen. It is what it is. And we can't stop it. It's the competitiveness and the drivers.
The nature of the beast.
Some good drivers out here.
Yeah.
It's just, they want to win. They want to get the best finish. It could be for P29. Somebody's battling. So it's just, it's really on the drivers to kind of a little bit of give and take out there. Obviously, I want to see hard racing. I want to see who can win here tonight, but I also want to see a little bit of give and take. Be humble yourself. If you don't like the position, save the race. Don't bring out the caution because you just thought you can get another tire lane on somebody. So we'll see how these drivers finishes up. Big shuffle here in the outcome of these pit stops, though, Carl. I see Tyler Skoczen out front with J.P. Phillips, Alan Elwood, and Verweiss back there for your first 2 rows.
I'll tell you what, I don't necessarily mind this decision by Skoczen and Phillips. They go for the 2-tire strategy here. So we got our front row starting on 2 tires. For the most part, everyone else in the field taking 4. But we've seen on that last restart, we've seen Verweiss take 2. And he didn't exactly drop back through the field. He didn't drop like a rock at all. He was up there battling and hanging on to the top 3 pretty much that entire run right there. So 2 tires, definitely viable. And I would not be surprised to see that 55 and 78 be really competitive here all the way to the end. But they're going to have to hold off the 5 Alan Elwood. He's been, once again, fast here all night. He's been arguably the car to beat, and he's gotten out to some 8, 9 tenths of a second leads once he's gotten out there. But once again, he's going to have to restart, not from the front row. It's going to be back here in P number 3. Tyler Skoczen is going to be your control car here for the restart. Before we get to that restart, I want to thank our sponsor here for the series, and that is going to be Alan Elwood with Elwood Designs, as they have been making custom deliveries for the iRace community since 2012. Specializing in the NASCAR class of vehicles, they can offer designs on various other options within the service. If you're looking to make your own livery but don't have the time to make your own base designs, you can purchase Elwood Design bases at simwrapmarket.com, and you can find Elwood Designs online on Facebook or X. We are ready to get this thing back underway. We got 10 laps to go. It's go time here. I think it's time to start making your moves here. I know this is, there's still some time to go here, but 10 laps to go. You start putting it on the line right here, and Tyler Skoczen is going to be the first one that can jump out there, get this restart going here as we head, excuse me, to the Geico restart zone.
Patience, Jarvis.
I don't know if there's patience on the table at this point anymore, as Tyler Skoczen gets a great restart. But Alan Elwood right there with him, trying to look for the bottom. Skoczen's not going to give it to him. Heading into turn number 1, Elwood wants to get in front before those tires get nice and toasty for Skoczen, but Skoczen gets the good jump here. Elwood crosser onto the bottom on the backstretch, going to send it in at turn number 3. We'll see how much Skoczen can fight on this restart. We got him 2 wide, 3 wide almost behind him, but Alan Elwood back to the front. We'll take a look back further in the pack as it's starting to get racy for sure. As we got 3, 4 wide here on the front stretch. Jimmy, oh no, the 82 getting sent for a ride, and oh man, was that the 54 again of Jason Crispin? Now it looks like Crispin was not involved in this one. The 82, Christopher Pope gets sent around there. We'll take a look at that one more time here, as it's definitely go time here, and we've seen right there 4 wide racing, and really just not much room to go right there. And it was the 38 of Dean Gagliano getting involved in that one, and a few others as well, bringing out a late race caution. And honestly, Jimmy, I'm not surprised. These drivers are ready to go. This is the run here to the end, and again, no points on the line. So that certainly changes the outlook for some of these drivers as well. Next week is when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, and that's when the points are starting to get paid out here. So we'll see. We'll see what that season has to offer. As again, we start next week at Dover, but we got to finish this one out yet. We're still going to have a few laps to go. Looks like maybe 4 laps to go or so before we get this thing back underway. But yeah, it was a little bit racy, a little bit testy right there. Looks like Joe Thomas, as rough of a night as he's had so far, he's gotten involved in a few things. He's gonna get back on the lead lap. He's gonna get the lucky dog here. That's what you gotta do. You gotta stick in there. He was a few laps down. Now he is gonna be back on the lead lap. He can take his wave around once he gets to the line here. He can come into the pits, get some fresh tires as well, and try and send this thing to the end. But I'll tell you what, for these drivers out here,
Chippy Phillips making a last-minute decision to take maybe some tires, and not happy with his initial. See that number 78 back to the field. And Carl, just before we keep talking about these wonderful drivers out here to put on this great show, we got to put out a big, huge thank you and welcome back to all 60 of us sitting in YouTube. I really appreciate y'all come back, support these drivers. I mean, everybody. We got people from other leagues. We have people that continue to come back and support their friends and family. It's just, this is why we do this. So you all can see, your person out here driving and having a good time, or not having a good time, so you can give them crap later, or pat them on the back, say good job. I mean, it's just wonderful to see everybody out there. But the one thing I would like to see, I only see 9 thumbs up. I see 20-some people in chat. I want at least 20, or maybe at least 15 thumbs up for these drivers out here tonight.
Hey, give us one of the other fingers later, but for now, give us that thumbs up.
I'll take the thumb for now.
But yeah, I mean, it's again, it costs nothing to hit that like,
Nothing.
and it costs nothing to hit that subscribe either. But it will get you or get these drivers a chance to showcase their skills out here a little bit more. When somebody searches for Xfinity, or searches for Core, or searches for Alan Elwood, it'll show up there in the YouTube algorithm a little bit higher if the video has a bunch of thumbs up and a bunch of views and things like that. So we appreciate everyone out there regardless, and it's been a fun one out here so far, and we're not done yet. We still got 5 more laps to go. Green flag is going to give us 5 more. Alan Elwood on the front row. Tyler Skoczen got 2 tires. Can he put any kind of battle in there? Tyler Skoczen, same thing. Can he do anything with the 5 of Alan Elwood to try and claim the first win of the season? We got 4 platinum drivers in the field here tonight, running at 1, 3, 9, and 10 respectively. Mark Hurst, maybe on his debut, can get ahead of Gherkin here at the end and not finish as the lowest platinum driver. But certainly, I'm sure that 65 still getting his feet wet getting back out here. But he's going to have a long hill to climb to get up here and start battling with the likes of Alan Elwood and a few others not in attendance here tonight, as the Platinum Division is packed for this season. I know we lost our champion, Clayton Montgomery, for this season, but I mean, it's one of the biggest fields out there, as You got Alan Elwood, you got Brandon Mettler, Danny Ware, David Tilford, Davey Hendricks, Brady Gurkin, Jack Stoneman, Justin Munsell, Mark Parkhurst, Nick Nickerson, and Shayne Therrien all going to do battle this season, but we are ready.
Another half of the field.
Exactly. It's about a quarter of the field because we got a big size field for the season signed up, but we are racing once again. 5 laps to go. Will this thing go green all the way to the end? It's going to get racy for sure. We're going to keep an eye on as many battles as possible. Looking at the battle here for third for Weiss on the inside. Skoczen, if I can say it right, not getting a good restart here as Stoneman already into second. Looking back a little further, 3 wide action. Kevin Foster to the inside here. And now 3 wide off of the corner as Turnbull all the way to the inside there is going to possibly, it looks like he just gets by the 8 heading into the corner, but time is ticking away here. It is 4 laps to go, and it is beyond go time at this point. These drivers are racing for every position, even though, again, points aren't on the line, but pride is. You want to try and start that season out with a top 10. You want to start out with a good finish. Battling real close here at the front. And what we're seeing is a couple of rookie drivers coming out here making a heck of a debut. We've seen Sean Weiss up there for quite some time. We're seeing that one of Michael Larch up there in the top 10 as well. Jesse Francisco and James Turnbull trying to crack into that top 10, but almost 3 wide right there is the 32 of Tyler Barnes. Thought about going to the inside. We'll have 3 wide behind as little net code there is gonna send it around here, and that was unfortunately all net code. You've seen it right there on the screen. We'll take a look back and see it again, but unfortunately Brady Gurkin gets sent around, and you hate to see it. I mean, we see it, probably at least once a race, sometimes 3, 4, 5 times a race, just depending on the track, depending on the internet connection, depending on the server. But for those that are new, netcode sucks. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's basically, we're not all racing in the same living room right now. There's drivers racing from all over the country, and sometimes from other countries. And
good thing we're not all racing in the same room.
Yeah, that probably would be good. I mean, it'd be a lot of drinking afterwards, I'm sure. but because of that, internet connections don't always jive together, and you get little moments that one computer is saying that you're right alongside and touching another car, another one is saying it you're not. And unfortunately, that's where netcode comes into play. We'll take a look back here and see what brought this one out, if I can find it.
I'm not seeing anything,
there we go.
So you're going to have to
I think we got it here. As you see right here, the 121 gets close to the 32. They would not have touched, but netcode says they did, and unfortunately sends the 32 up into the 46 and brings out a late race caution here tonight. But it's not going to end the night, as we have 2 green-white checkers to work through. This is going to be restart number 1. 50 laps wasn't enough, Jimmy. We got to go overtime.
I mean, everybody wants overtime, right? Everybody wants more airtime. Everybody wants I mean, I can't blame them. I mean, who doesn't want to be on CRN even longer? But I'm sure some of those drivers want to come here, talk to us here tonight, and be the first winner unofficially as the season starts. So I'm looking forward to see who can come out. Obviously, the number 5 looking to be the car to beat. Just has it hooked up here tonight, so making a staple here. Just missed out on a championship at the end of the season with a great battle between Montgomery. So looking forward to see if Elwood can reclaim his championship here as the platinum driver. But he's going to have his hands full with a long laundry list of other drivers that are not here tonight to deciding to take the night off, or they had just other things planned. And obviously this is not the official start of the season. It's just a expedition.
For some, it's been an expedition. For some, it has been an expedition.
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. Somebody's packed the backpack.
Well, we're about to see maybe who is going to get this thing done, but we're not exactly out of the woods just yet. Again, 2 chances to add a green-white checkered here tonight. Alan Elwood is going to restart at the front here, and there's nobody anywhere close to him that has those fresh 4 tires. JP Phillips, the closest one back there in the 16th position, has got 4 fresh tires, but only by about 5 laps. So we'll see if that does anything for him here at the end. But it's going to be Alan Elwood, Jack Stoneman, Tyler Skoczen, Sean Verweiss, and Joe Sullivan for your top 5. Joey Cruz, Michael Larch, Josh Van Weston, Tyler Barnes, and Mark Parkhurst for your top 10. It's been a fun one out here for sure. I know I've enjoyed it. I'm happy to be back out here on Tuesday, even though losing my voice here just a little bit. I better find it because we got a heck of a long week ahead of us here on CRM. We got
not so over the whole week.
We don't have too much more time. Exactly. Yeah, gargle a little bit here before this thing is over. But we got to finish this one out and claim the victory for somebody here for the Core Clash to start off season number 6. Pace cars in. Alan Elwood back on that loud pedal, and we are back to racing here. Can anyone run down that 5? Who's going to come up here and talk to us into that top 3 side by side for second place? Between Skoczen on the inside, Stoneman on the outside. Here comes Joe Sullivan, as well as both of your heat race winners right there in 4th and 5th. Sullivan on the inside, Verweiss on the outside. Then you got the 028 of Joey Cruz trying to get up here in the mix as well. Coming back to the line. If they take the white flag, the next flag will end it. And indeed, white flag in the air. 1 more lap to go here at Kentucky. Who's going to be the Core Clash winner? We got some incidents possibly towards the back here, but we are going to keep this thing green because we already got the white flag. Alan Elwood sets his sights on the first checker flag of the season. Definitely got some mixing up here towards the back. Some cars flying all over the place. Battle still up here, and throw a blanket over the top 6 or 7. Heck of a run to the line. Alan Elwood, your winner here tonight. Jack Stoneman going to come home in second. Tyler Skoczen, Joe Sullivan, Sean Verweiss for your top 5. But man, the top, the top looks like 8, 9 cars, all separated by 1 second. Yeah, if that's what the season number 6 is going to give us, I'll take it.
I mean, you don't get any closer than that. The battles, everybody hammering down. I think they did a pretty good job. I've seen some few drivers. Well, can't say I've seen the cars getting a little loose, getting tight. So definitely, a hard driving back there. So congratulations to those that have finished in the positions they wanted to, and hopefully if you had a bad day, this is just warm-ups. Maybe come back here next week, get this thing officially started. But again, congratulations on the winners of the heat races, the winner of the Last Chance Qualifier, and we'll get a chance to talk to some of the drivers here before we get out of here for the evening.
Well, I mean, it makes exact sense here for how everything played out. You had Alan Elwood, Jack Stoneman, Tyler Skoczen. They started 1, 2, 3, finished 1, 2, 3. You had your 2 heat winners, Joe Sullivan and Sean Verweiss. They finished 4 and 5. What's that?
He said Skoczen was P2, so he lost his spot, and Jack Stoneman finished in second. But I mean, if you want to think about it, the 2 platinum drivers finished on top. And Skoczen finishing in 3rd.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying those 3 got the they got the automatic bid from getting the poles last season, and they finished 1, 2, 3. Joe Sullivan, Sean Verweiss finishing in 4th and 5th after they won their heats and started up there in the top 5. So I mean, the top 5 finished in the top 5. So this was, I guess, kind of a boring race when you all break it down. But I'll tell you what, you watch this thing back, and I'm sure all these drivers are going to peep in and watch this thing back afterwards. It was anything but boring, as it was hot and heavy. It was crazy all throughout the field. I want to thank everyone out there again for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. But we got some interviews that we need to get to for our top 3 here tonight. And, I guess should be giving us some time to catch our breath, and these drivers here as well. But we got time for that.
Let me turn my fan.
We got time for that. We got our top 3 here in the waiting room and ready to go. In 3rd place here tonight is going to be the 55 of Tyler Skoczen. And Tyler, I just got done saying to Jimmy, you take a look at the finishing order. You got our 2 heat winners finishing in 4th and 5th after starting up there. We got you guys in the top 3, starting in the top 3. So if you just look at the results, it could look like it was a boring race. I don't think it was, though.
No, it definitely wasn't. I mean, a lot of us were kind of moving around a little bit earlier in the race, but I mean, track position was a lot more important than I really thought it was going to be. But I mean, it still ended out pretty good, I guess. I just really needed that race to go long, personally. I really had a good long run car. I felt, especially in that very first stint, we were able to really get that top working in turn 3, and I was really, really pleased. I think I was 3rd behind Jack the whole time, and I would beat him off that corner the whole time, but I couldn't figure out turn 1, and then after that first yellow, I really burned off the tires way too early, and that killed that run quite a lot. But I mean, after that, got a couple more of those yellows, and I mean, kind of worked out. And at the end, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to win it being on 4 tires at the end, so I was like, why not? Let's just go 2. Let's see what the heck happens. And surprisingly, the car held on a lot better than I thought it would on 2 tires. It was kind of even out a little bit after a couple laps, but still felt really good. And it was a pretty fun race, really competitive there. Fun battling Jack there, Grady, Sean. Pretty fun overall.
So you decided to take 2 tires on the second last pit stop there. Well, I guess the last pit stop got you up to the front. Do you feel like that was kind of maybe not a last ditch effort, but the effort that you needed to try and get to the front, get around Alan, and maybe have a chance to hold him off there for the end?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the mindset. Yeah, I mean, kind of like what I figured out in the earlier runs, I was like, yeah, I mean, these guys are really good. I kind of had a feeling we were going to get a good mid of yellows, and that was probably not going to help. But yeah, I mean, that was a last second call to take 2 tires. I think I unchecked the box like 3 boxes before mine. I was like, I don't know if I do 4, I mean, it'll feel really good, but I mean, at the same time, I didn't really burn off the lefts as much as I did earlier in the race. And I was like, I mean, what do I got to lose? Why not? I wasn't going to beat those guys in front of me on straight up pace. You were kind of like 3rd to 5th, pretty much the whole race. And yeah, like I said, I mean, car held on a lot better than I expected there on 2 tires at the end. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty fun. Thought we had a chance there. I tried to block Alan there on the restart, but he was just kind of...
I've seen it.
Yeah. It really was a lot more sketchy than I thought. Yeah, I know. It was a lot more sketchy than I thought. Kind of once I got into 4th gear, actually a little bit before that, I felt the rear starting to spin. I was like, oh boy. I knew that was going to happen, but I was like, I wasn't expecting it to happen that much. I thought I'd get into the gears a lot smoother, but, I would have put a bigger block. What's that?
I said I want to interrupt Carl's interview here with you because one, it was towards I think the middle of the race, and you were about to go 3 wide, and I seen you back out, and I was like, last year's Skoczen wouldn't have done that. Like you just like something clicked or something for this race, and you're like, nope, I'm gonna wait, and you sure did, and it panned out for you. I was like, it was like a moment, like I was like something's clicking with them here tonight, and it's going to end up into a good season. So if you continue to make decisions like that, man, you're going to continue to be up here in the booth talking with me and Carl. But back to Carl.
Our boy's growing up right in front of our eyes.
I had to say that. Proud moment.
Well, the funny thing was, I was watching those heats, and I was like, I saw a couple guys at one point, a couple points go 3 wide, and I was like, some of them were making it stick, but I was like, I don't really know. I think it's awfully tricky. I don't even remember what corner was that. I don't remember if it was 1 or 3. Either way, I don't think it would have. Yeah, okay. Either way, that probably wouldn't have worked because my car was not good on the bottom. That's why I was hoping for a better restart there at the end, and just I knew the whole time I was like, if I can clear and get to the top, maybe behind Jack and Alan, entering turn 3 on coming to the last lap, I was like, well, I might have a shot, but I knew once I was kind of stuck on the bottom, I was like, I'm not going to go anywhere. I just couldn't get it to handle well.
So, you got to talk about the season now. Obviously, this one just kind of a fun event, little expedition, or now you got me saying, exhibition to start off the season here. No points on the line, but got to ask you, what's your outlook on the season here? You're in the gold division with some pretty stout other drivers in there as well. You have to wait until the second last race of the season to get to Texas. So, what's the outlook on the season? Is there any other tracks along the way you're looking forward to?
I mean, it's going to be a fun season for sure. I mean, I was looking at the schedule. I'm looking at it right now, trying to think. Yeah, it's kind of. I was bummed that you brought up Texas there at the end. I was like, oh man, I was kind of hoping it'd be like the
still
playoff opener. yeah, a little bit. I was like, I'm okay with it not being in the regular season. Somewhere in the playoffs would be great, but second to last race, ooh, that'd be a little tricky. But I mean, it's okay. I don't know. First few weeks will definitely be interesting. Dover's kind of iffy on me. I haven't really run it that much ever since they rescanned it, but kind of figured out. Indy, we ran all right last year, just didn't have things go our way. And I'm honestly really looking forward to the road course race in Watkins Glen. I wouldn't consider myself the biggest road course guy, but like it's going to be fun to see how we all can kind of, play out there, who's going to really show up and be the best there. But I mean, yeah, it'll be fun, pretty fun overall. And, hopefully we can get ourselves into obviously the playoffs first and then into the championship round, because Auto Club was a bumper last season to kind of have the strategy not go our way. But, look forward to it now. We know what we did wrong the first time, and we'll see if we can improve on it as we go into the season.
All right, buddy. Well, you start off here talking to us, so that's always a good thing. It's always a fun thing for sure, getting to talk after the race. Top three here tonight for the Core Clash. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, I mean, congrats obviously to Alan first to winning, racing a lot of guys. Jack up there, fun racing him there at the end. Cool to see some other friends of mine there in the race. Sean, Brady, Jesse, cool to see them participating this season racing with us. But yeah, I mean, should be fun overall. Of course, everybody at home that watches, my family, all my friends. Hopefully I could put on a good season. Hopefully I can be top three more. This is fun to talk in the booth. I like this.
you missed the
says
booth.
That.
You missed the booth. I
only did it like once or twice last year. This is fun.
Yeah, and you get to do it after having a heck of a race. So congrats on the third place here tonight. We'll let you go, get out of here, and get ready for the season starting next week.
Thank you, guys.
Driver of the 55 here, third place finisher is going to be Tyler Skoczen. Second place tonight is going to be the 25 of Jack Stoneman.
Hey, Jack, Jimmy and Carl on the booth. Copy.
I got you guys.
There he is. I'm just waiting. I didn't hear you come in. But hey, fantastic race tonight. Didn't have to compete in any of the pre-race shenanigans, I guess if you want to call it, the heat races, last chance qualifier. Got to kind of sit back and watch, and came out here, ran a nice, solid race. Give us a rundown on everything was for you coming back after about a month off.
Well, first of all, it's glad to be back here in this league. I was getting so bored with work and everything, and I'm like, man, I just need some racing, bro. Get me back on the sim. Running official races is not fun at all. People are idiots, don't know how to drive. So coming back here and racing with people that I'm familiar with and people that actually know how to drive, it's great to be back. But anyways, going with this race, honestly, I forgot that I qualified pole at one point last season. So when I heard that I was guaranteed into the feature, I'm like, lucky me. But yeah, no, I mean, I was very surprised of how fast I was, being fastest in practice, and obviously finishing P2. Had some great racing there with a lot of people that I know from previous experiences with Shayne Therrien, Tyler Skoczen, obviously, racing with Elwood there. It's always a privilege. I was, funny enough, during the wait, while we were waiting for Skoczen to finish this interview, I was talking to Elwood, and I told him, like, dude, every single time I say I'm not good at a track, I do good for some reason. It's reverse psychology for me. So I think that's going to be my goal. Just use that for this season. Now being a platinum driver, I kind of have to triple my standards for myself.
I suck really bad. No, I mean, I'm horrible. How do you feel next week? It just sucks. I hate it. I want to pull my hair out now. I mean, you came out here, you qualified pole last season. So congrats on me, getting that foot in here. Just a little fun run. Obviously, this is kind of a taste. Still a bunch of drivers out there that aren't here tonight. We're looking right up around the 40 plus, maybe 50 drivers out on track. So add another 10 to 15, maybe even 20 more drivers on the tracks, and it's going to be a handful. You guys are definitely going to have your hands full. Competition's high, and obviously this is the opener. The races will get a little bit longer, and hopefully you'll get some great green flag running in. So, I mean, like I said, it was fantastic to see you out here, see you do well, and finish great. So again, from CRN and everybody else out there, had a lot of fans watching. We want to say congratulations and give you a little time for any shouts you might have. And then number 25.
Well, first of all, as always, Carl, Jimmy, love you guys. Always bringing out a great broadcast over here. Fun to watch the replay. All the admins that run this league, taking the time to get everything organized. I know, a lot of people here, they got a life, unlike me, and they got actual work. So it's great that everybody's able to take time off, come here, have a great time with the Core Racing League and with Elwood Designs Core Xfinity Series. I got to thank my brand new team that I'm with, Team Watson Racing Setups. I was just invited by them as being one of their brand new house drivers for official racing. So I got to give a huge shout out to James Watson for inviting me on and letting me represent their team now. Obviously still connected with UNOH, but we got more things to look forward to. I got to also thank all my friends and families that are also either watching or that I'm racing with. Always a privilege to race with them and get the amount of support that I deserve. Well, not deserve, but
you deserve it. You're here. You're in the best seat in the house right here in CRN. I mean, whether you're first or you're third, it's still the best. But no, congrats again. Thanks for the shout, man. Congratulations. We'll let you go celebrate with them, friends and family, and hopefully we'll see you back here next week at Dover.
I'm gonna be drinking plenty tonight, so I'll fun.
Roger that.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 25 of Jack Stoneman. Last but not least, your winner here tonight is going to be the 5 of Alan Elwood. Alan, no surprise, but welcome back to the booth here. Another win here. Not going to be for points, just for a little bit of fun, but I got to ask, was it a little stressful just kind of sitting out there, not even getting a chance to qualify, not getting a chance to heat race, not getting a chance to LCQ? You had to sit there and just wait for a half hour and just kind of build up the anticipation maybe a little bit for the start of the season.
Yeah, it was a little bit. I was kind of begging iRacing, like, hey, give me a test drive button or something. Maybe let me turn a couple laps.
Ghost a little bit. Yeah,
it's cold here. Jeez, it's like getting iced in a football game or something.
We tried it. We tried to ice you. It didn't work. It didn't work.
We really tried. No, it was a lot of fun. I was telling Skoczen that, and I think this track is really underrated. I'm kind of glad that we got to race at some form of capacity because the different ends of the track really make it interesting and kind of open up strategy a little bit more than normal. So really happy to race this place and kind of consider it my old home track, being close to Ohio. Unfortunately, I never got to see a race there, but glad at least we get to go back in the virtual world and give it a few laps and put on a show for everybody. But yeah, it was definitely kind of tough getting back in the swing of things there right off the bat. But once you get in the groove, it's kind of like riding a bike, I guess.
Well, it certainly was, and it was a fast bike out here tonight. You got that 5 to the front a couple times. You started on the pole. You never really left the top 3, the top 5 there, but you had some other drivers trying different strategies, doing everything they could to kind of get you off your game here. You decided to take 4 tires all night. Every pit stop you came in here, but you had Sean Verweiss up there for a little bit after he took 2 tires. You had late in the race Tyler Skoczen up there after taking 2 tires. Was that ever in your mind? Was it always 4 tires no matter what?
2 tires was absolutely not on my agenda because when I have unlimited tires in this league, I am taking 4 because I'm so tired of having to deal with 4 and 2 and whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm taking 4 no matter what. That kind of worked out. Though I was thinking about 2 tires, to be honest, that middle stint, just because I wasn't sure, maybe the left side tires weren't wearing that much that they could work out. And Sean kind of proved that. I think he had some good pace there on 2. If he did, I thought he took 2. So I thought he kind of, showed that worked. If he only had a handful of laps on the tires, but there at the end, I had to take 4. We just had too many green laps to make 2 work, I think. But yeah, no, it was just on my mind. I was going to take 4 all night, and make sure I had the tires under me to make the moves I needed to, even if a few guys did take 2.
Well, you had it maybe a little bit easier than you could here in the regular season because you only had 3 other Platinum drivers out there to fight with. One of them being Jack Stoneman, who ends up coming home in second. But you're missing some of the other ones, some of the other heavy hitters out there, some of your teammates, Danny Ware, Shayne Therrien, just to name a few, Davey Hendricks. Is I guess, kind of what's the outlook? I know you don't have Clayton Montgomery to battle with and try and steal the thunder away from you this season, but it's not exactly going to be easy here in the Platinum and trying to get back on top.
Yeah, well, I can surely sleep better at night knowing that I don't have to worry about James Scioli coming from last to first.
There's that as well.
Trying to at least do that every week, so that helps me a little bit. But ultimately, I really hate it that some of my teammates can't be here this season for different personal reasons. It really sucks. Those guys make, I think, the racing as a whole better, not just because of teammate bias, but I think those guys are just talented enough that they definitely make everybody better around them as well. But there's definitely going to be some good competition. Looking forward to racing some of these newer names that I'm not familiar with, but as well as seeing like Jack and Tyler and them back and really having a good field. I think this season may be the best yet in core. And that's why I'm happy to be back as a sponsor. I think there's a lot of talent here, and hopefully tonight was kind of a little representative of that. But as the season goes on and we get more names out here and more drivers, I think the racing will be really fun.
Yeah, and especially with next week, it means it's for real. This tonight, you can kind of let your hair down a little bit, have a little bit of fun, and go for moves that you may not go for when points are on the line. So I'm sure we'll see it get a little bit amped up next week for Dover. But either way, you start out the season, unofficial, whatever you want to call it, with a win. Top spot here tonight, even though we tried to ice you. Like you said, we tried and we did everything we could here, but could not stop the 5 here tonight. So congrats on the win.
Gave me that 2-minute warm-up.
That's what it was. 2 minutes is all he needed. That's all he needed.
I want to get rid of that thing.
Well, either way, congrats on the win here tonight. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout-out to or thanks to?
First off, shout out to everybody on the team. Like, we talk about it as the only one here tonight, but looking forward to going again with EDE and see if we can make some magic happen there. Of course, Semrat Market, VRS, Roderick Racing Development, all the partners and stuff that make this happen for us. And of course, you guys up here in the booth, as well as related to the league. It's a good place to be. Happy to be here. It's a lot of good racing, and shout out to everybody tonight. I think we had some good racing, so definitely looking forward to getting the season going. That month was just enough time to, I think, rekindle the fire and really want to get things rolling again. So looking forward to doing it for real next week and see how the season goes.
Yeah, we're definitely feeling the same way up here in the booth as well. So congrats on the season. Thank you for the shout-outs. We'll let you go celebrate. Get ready for Dover and the season opener next week.
That's good, guys. Thank you.
That is your winner here tonight of the Core Clash for season number 6, the 5 of Alan Elwood. It was a fun little event here tonight, and got the drivers out there to mix it up, have a little fun, a little bit of heat racing action, a little bit of Last Chance Qualifier. A shorter race than they'll deal with in the regular season when it comes to the 50-lap feature that we had here tonight. But it was not dull to say the least, and we got to see some good battle and good action. 3 wide, 4 wide. I mean, it really does put on a pretty good race here, and it's almost kind of like a mini Michigan, a mini auto club, because Kentucky can widen out pretty nicely and give you a lot of different lines.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great start to what's to come officially, and obviously the drivers getting out here to get the chance to kind of knock off the cobwebs instead of doing it on their first official race. For the ones that showed up, the ones that did not show up, you missed out on a great race, and I wish you were all here. I give you all hugs and cookies, and but looking forward, and I hope we have awesome turnout each and every week. I know they will. This series has been running strong now for quite a while, and to keep continuing to bring people back and to see new faces, seen some return drivers from past seasons finally coming back out. So I'm glad you're here. It's fun to watch. It's fun to see your friends be successful and have fun. And at times, I'm sure it can be either humbling or stressful, or you just get frustrated with it. But just remember that it's fun, and we're here to do it every week. And there's always next week to continue to put on a great show and get a great finish. But that's the biggest thing, is just to continue to have fun and keep coming out here. And when it's not fun no more, take a little break and come back. And that's why we're here, and that's why you see the people coming back For as far as the fans go tonight, like I said, I won't say it enough. I really appreciate here, whether you give me any thumbs or not. But I do really appreciate everybody coming out and supporting the drivers that do spend the time here doing their hobby. So welcome back, and hopefully we'll see you each and every week. And I think that's it for me, Carl, but I'm excited to see what's to come for this new upcoming season.
Yeah, we got a ton of drivers signed up for the season, a bunch that are returning from last season, a few that are returning from being off for quite some time, and a lot of rookies out there as well. And some rookies already turning some heads and showing some speed out there, and we'll see where they land in which division after their 5 races. But yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, you get out here, even if you don't have a good race, what's your alternative? Your alternatives are go race officials, which that's not going to make you any happier. that's just going to frustrate you even more. Or just not race at all, and that's no fun. So you take the good with the bad sometimes, and tonight was a lot of good. There was some a little bumps and roughness along the road. Some rough restarts, some drivers getting used to the cold tires here. But all in all, I think it was a pretty good success. And to me, this could be one of the smallest fields you'll see all season with, and it still had 29 drivers out there looking to see if we can beat the mark. And I believe the mark is 37 drivers is the max that we've seen in a core race. But we have over 50 drivers signed up, and close to 50 of them already paid for the season and ready to rumble. So we'll see if we hit that elusive 40 mark, or maybe even going above and beyond. And I guess maybe see who gets it first here. If Core Xfinity gets it first, or tomorrow night on CSRL, see if they hit their 40 tomorrow night. But make sure you tune into that one, as you get me and Jimmy for one more night of the week, and it puts a smile on our face being up here in the booth. So hopefully you guys enjoy it out there as well. But for myself and Jimmy, for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Elwood Designs here at the Kentucky Speedway, we'll see you at the track.